All right, perfect. Today I'm with Jacob Gahart, former student athlete and football player at Rapone College, former employee of the Milwaukee Bucks, and currently an athletic facilities manager at the University of Arizona. How are you doing today, Jake?
Doing well, Royce. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great, pretty good. Not too bad. Get to talk to you today, so I'm lucky to do that. But let's get started with the interview. First question I have for you today is, what kind of environment takes place at Arizona Athletics to promote growth among various programs and amongst staff members?
Well, there's a couple things that our HR team has done to try and achieve some cohesiveness and togetherness at Arizona, which is a challenge, I'd say, because in our department specifically, with Arizona Athletics, the staff and teams are split up a little bit location wise, physically, because the football team, including all staff and everybody, is all housed within the stadium. Olympic sports are in McHale, and then sport like baseball, they have offices out at High Corbett, which is a couple miles away. So there is a little bit of a challenge with keeping people together, as from a staff standpoint, for sure. I'd say coming out of COVID, it's been hard to bring everyone back together, and create that team environment. We used to do, I remember there was like an all staff retreat day sort of thing, where I think one year we played basketball. There was like a dozen teams. If you wanted to play, you signed up and played, and everybody had the afternoon off, and we just kind of did some pickup games. The year before that, I think, was a softball day, and everybody it was a Friday afternoon or whatever. Whoever wanted to go play softball could play and cheer and just be together, and they grilled out afterward and stuff. So those sorts of things definitely help with creating environment with your team and your staff. We haven't gotten back to those things post COVID yet. I don't know what will evolve as we try and get back to that togetherness, but hopefully they continue some of those things, because I think it does help from a team standpoint.
Okay, interesting. Next, I'd like to ask, what is your main role with Arizona Athletics, and what does a day in the life look like for someone working in facilities?
So my main role as a facility assistant director of facilities is event setup and tear down. So any home games and events that happen, we will do that setup. And then I also have we call it handyman responsibilities. Anything that comes up regarding the facility, whether it's office wise or on field. Now we have facility management staff that will handle very specific, like whether it's HVAC or mechanical or carpenter shop or things like that. But we take a look at most of our stuff first, because if it's something that we can handle internally, we do that. So it's kind of the two-pronged approach there.
Okay. Next, I'd like to ask, what kind of improvements is the University of Arizona looking to make to its facilities?
So there's two major projects going on right now for sports. Football is getting a new turf field. So that's going in right now. They ripped up the old stuff. They're redoing some irrigation. There's a new turf field. They're also redoing the locker room for football over there. So they're getting new lockers, and I think they're going to do audio, video in that space and things like that as well. Then the other big project is over at baseball. They're redoing the athletic training room, an arm care room. They're redoing the equipment manager's room, as well as like a video room and stuff like that. So a lot of their field house is being renovated. That is phase one of what's going to be 2 or 3 phases, I believe, to get High Corbett up to par, if you will, with some of that. So
okay, to piggyback off that last question, How would you say the University of Arizona's athletic facilities compare to other facilities that you've seen or worked on, such as ones that were at Rapone College when you played there, or how does McHale Center compare to the stadium for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, so Ripon College was much closer to a high school field. It was shared with the high school as well as the city for events and things like that. So the let me ask you this, Royce. How many kids went to your high school?
3,000.
3,000. Okay. Ripon College, there's 1,000 kids that go to Ripon College.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine your high school football stadium might have been bigger than Ripon College's stadium that we played at. Okay, so not very big, and I couldn't even tell you those bleacher wise what that might have been, capacity wise. But so that's what we're looking at there. The Milwaukee Bucks. When I started working with the Milwaukee Bucks, they had not yet opened. We were still hard hat and vest there when I started. I helped open that arena. That is like, I think 16.5 or something like that, for like a regular basketball game. When they open it up for a concert, it can go up to like 19,000 if they have people on the floor. That is a multi-purpose facility. They can do everything from hockey or ice shows, as well as obviously the basketball and the concerts and all that. And they do it all there. That was a $530 million project, I think. So it is state of the art, and it's got everything, flexibility with the as far as the arena bowl, seats that can come in and out. There's a lot of stuff that's on wheels, or you forklift it out and store it in order to change configurations in the arena, as well as outside. So it's not just the arena itself. There's the Deer District, is what they call it. So they added a couple of restaurant and bars, and they're doing things outside too on the plaza. So it's more than just the arena. It's the whole district there that they've created. So when we compare that to, say, Arizona, obviously we're not going to try to compare that to Ripon College. That's not even worth it. When you compare that to Arizona, I'd say the biggest thing with Arizona, and you look at the McHale Center, our arena, it's an aging facility. It's older. Locker rooms have been updated and things, and even very recently, but updates need to continue to happen. There's a lot of things that with that arena as old as it is, that we need to continue to update to keep pace with not only our peers in the Pac-12, but Division I athletics as well.
Okay, cool. Next, I'd like to ask, what atmospheric changes have you noticed with all the recent coaching changes amongst the major sports programs at the University of Arizona? Do you think the changes will increase success or decrease it? And I understand that you don't work directly with the teams, but from your outside perspective, this is something I would find interesting to consider.
Yeah, I think our recent coaching changes, pretty interesting, because we had a first-year head men's basketball coach and football coach, which has never happened in Arizona. It's pretty rare to happen in Division I as well. And I think you see a pretty stark difference in personality, as well as approach to things like social media, which I think create that atmosphere that you're talking about. And how our head football coach, Jed Fish, is very active on social media. He's on Twitter. He's posting. He wants people to buy season tickets. He's on there and is very, very active. In comparison, Coach Tommy Lloyd, our head basketball coach, I'm sure he has a Twitter account, but I don't know what it is or what he does on there, if he posts anything at all. That's just not his style. He's not the one to be front and center with the social media account like that. So it's a pretty stark difference between the two. When we talk about success or lack of success. So I don't know how much that immediately translates. They're both first year head coaches. Obviously, football program was 1-11. Basketball program made to the Sweet 16 and won the Pac-12 outright, and the Pac-12 tournament. So now that's not to say like get off social media and look what that does to you. That's obviously not where I'm going with that. But two very different approaches from if you're talking about atmosphere and stuff like that. Both can be successful, and we'll see. Hopefully, our football program with a good recruiting class this year and come in and start to turn things around.
Okay, interesting. All right, last question I have for you today is, how important do you think it is for student athletes to learn about the logistics as well as the business of sports while they're in school?
Well, I think that's a big one right now with the NLI stuff and understanding, not only your own value, but how to maximize that. And I think it's going to be that is a very, very hot button thing right now. I would be hard pressed to think that, and I hope that teams and programs start building resources significantly to help their student athletes understand kind of the business side of things. Because I think what's happened with NIL is there really wasn't much of a ramp up. There wasn't a ready, set, go. It was just, here it is, let's go do it. And that caused a little bit of a windfall. And so I hope that, again, with the proper resources and things and helping student athletes gain the knowledge they need from the business side, that they can be successful. I think it's, there's so many sides of sport and different areas of sport that are crucial to any department or any team. The business side of it is kind of like one of those necessary evils that if you don't have a pretty good understanding of how things work from a business or finance standpoint, and whether it's Division I or whether it's Division III, where I came from at Ripon College, or professional sports with the Milwaukee Bucks or whatever. If you don't have a clear understanding of that, kind of how things work in respect to business and finance, you're probably going to struggle. So, like I said, I hope that we can continue to provide resources to student athletes so that they can, gain that understanding, because it's pretty important for them at this juncture for sure.
Okay, great. Wonderful advice for young student athletes.
I try.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. I really appreciate you hopping on a call with me and giving young student athletes as well as high school athletes who aspire to make it to the college level one day some great advice. So that concludes the interview, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Royce. Appreciate you.